Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Angel from Simply Angel Tia. In this video I'm gonna show you guys how to crochet this really nice chunky winter sweater, very textured and very heavy, but also very good for the cold season. And yeah, this is what we're gonna be working on. I decided to just kind of throw some colors together here. I think they turned out to be really nice. I decided to do a little bit of a textured texture for the body here and just kind of simple stitch for the sleeves. And I hope you guys like some of these just like random projects like this. They're very easy to do, so it's definitely beginner friendly. Yeah, so I hope you have all of your materials. You don't have to use the colors that I have here. You can alternate different colors, or you could just do this sweater in one color altogether. But keep in mind it's a crop sweater that you can also increase to be longer if you want to, and also you can do this in multiple different sizes. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and get started. Okay my lovelies, so before we proceed with this project, I'm going to show you the yarn that I'm using. And as you can see here, sorry for the clutter, these are yarns that I've used for other projects, so I'm just going to finish them off with this sweater here. So as you can see, this gray one here doesn't have a label, and of course it's also really messy, so I'm just going to place this on the side, but it's exactly the same brand and size as these ones here. So I'm going to use this one here to tell you what it is. This is going to be Craftsmart Value Economic. This is 100% acrylic. It's a medium weight number 3. Recommended hook size is 5.5 millimeter crochet hook or US I9. And the color for this one here is called raspberry. Okay, so this color here, which I'll probably call it purple, it's raspberry. All the information is exactly the same for the rest of this except for the color. So again, for the amount of yarn you get, this skein here gives you 198 grams or 354 yards or 324 meters, however you want to measure that. And of course everything is exactly the same as this one here, except this color is called aqua. And then this one, because I don't have a label, I'm just gonna call it gray because that's kind of what I see here. But these are the 3 colors that I'm using for this project. For crochet hook size, I'll be using a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, which is I9, and it's also what is recommended. I have my scissors here. I have a darning needle. I have a tape measure to be able to determine the size, and some stitch markers. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so to get this project started, we're going to start by doing one of the panels. So we're going to do 2 panels for the body, so which is the back and the front. And this one could be either or, so it doesn't matter if you do the front or the back. It's gonna be the exact same size and exactly the same pattern that we're using for it. So we're gonna start by doing a slip knot here. So we can start by doing our foundation chain. So this part here, you're going to start by doing how loose or tight you want your sweater to be in terms of the width. Okay, so the part that goes around your body, you want to determine that size now. So I'm going to want mine to be a little bit tight, but also a crop top. So, but the crop top, we're going to determine that by how many rows we do. But this one, we're going to determine the width like this. So the part one of the panels like this. So if you really want to get the size correct, what you can do is take your tape measure and measure the biggest part of your bust. So you will measure around your bust, and then you divide that by 2. And then you will do the number of chains that will correspond to the half of the circumference of your bust. So let me just give this information here. Let's say the roundness of your widest part of your bust is 40 inches. Okay, you take that 40, you divide it by 2, and you do 20 inches worth of chains here. Okay, so I'm gonna do mine at 50 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so this is my chain of 50 here. So this is going to be half of my circumference. And yeah, so it's going to be based on the tightness or the looseness that you would like for your sweater or for the person that you're making these for. And like I said, I'm making mine to be a little bit on the snatched side of the crop top. And so this is why I'm only doing 50 chains here. Okay, all right, we're gonna add 2 more chains for our turning chain. So 1, 2, And then I'm going to skip those 2 chains, and I'm going to go in the back of the 3rd and grab the back loop of the chain and complete a double crochet, just like that. And then we're going to go into the next and complete a double crochet. And so this is just a row where we complete double crochet stitches in the back of our foundation chain. Okay, you can also just do the front of the foundation chain. You can work into the front of the foundation chain, but I prefer to work in the back. So for those of you who follow my tutorials, you will see that I do use this technique quite a lot, as opposed to grabbing just the front of the chain to complete whatever stitch that you're doing. Okay, so I'm gonna do this all the way to the end, and when I get to the end of this, please come back, as I will, so we can go ahead and start the 2nd row, and then we'll move on from there. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have completed my 1st row here of double crochets. So very simple. And what we're gonna do here, we're gonna change the pattern a little bit. And how to do that is you just start by doing a chain of 2 and turning. And by the way, chain of 2 is gonna be something you do pretty much at the beginning of each of your rows here, okay? And then now we're going to do front post and back post double crochets. So we're going to start with doing a front post. And as you can see here, the previous double crochet from the previous row, it's gonna go and match up with this chain 2, which counts as a double crochet. So it means the next stitch we work into is the 2nd one to the left. And so we're gonna do a front post onto that one. So we're gonna yarn over and loop from the back like this, and then complete your double crochet like that. Okay, and then for the next stitch, we're gonna go to the back and bring it to the front like this, and then you're gonna pull your loop through, and then you're gonna complete your double crochet. And then you're gonna do the next one will be a front post, so you go in like that, and then you'll complete a double crochet, and then you're gonna do a back post double crochet, and then a front post double crochet. And then as you can see here, you just repeat that all the way to the end. So this is how your work should look like. It start to crunch up a little bit like this. You're gonna do this all the way to the 2nd last stitch. So you're gonna be able to do whatever, whether it's a front post or a back post to this stitch right here. I will show you how to work into that final stitch, and then how to start the next row. Okay, so work your front post, back post double crochets, and I will meet you guys at the end. Okay, my lovelies, so I have completed the row of the front post, back post double crochets. So as you can see, this is how your work should look like. I have one more stitch to go into here. So this is the chain 2 that we started the row with. We do need to work into that, so we just yarn over and go on top of the chain 2 and complete a double crochet. Okay, because we do want something to match up with that last double crochet here. Okay, so with that done, the row is completed. We're gonna start the next row. We start by doing a chain 2 and turning, and then from here on, this stitch is connected to this stitch here, so we're gonna work into the next stitch and complete a double crochet, and then we're gonna go into the next stitch and complete a double crochet, and then a double crochet in the next. So again, from this point on, we don't do anything very complicated. We just complete a row of double crochets. Okay, and you're going to do this all the way to the end. When you get to the end, you're going to chain 2 and turn, and then you're going to start your 2nd row of double crochets, and we're going to do this for a total of 3 times. So this one that we're working on right now is our first double crochet row after the front post, back post double crochet. So we're going to do 3, and then when you have completed your 3, please come back to the video and I will show you how to do something different. And we're also going to be changing the color. So the way I'm alternating this is I'm going to be changing the color, and then we will start that next row after that with a new color by doing the front post, back post double crochet. But if you just continue to finish the remaining 3 rows here and come back, I will show you how to change the color and how to start the new row, which is the new pattern, just like the one we just completed previously here. Okay, so complete 3 rows of this, the double crochet rows, and then come back to the video. Okay, my lovelies, so I have completed 3 rows of the double crochet here. So as you can see, this is pretty much a total of 5 rows. So we did the first row was of a double crochet, and then we did the front post, back post, double crochet, and then 3 rows of the double crochet. Okay, so this is what we have so far in this panel. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna cut the yarn just somewhere there, and then I'm going to change it to the gray color. Okay, this is just the order that I want to change my colors. You can absolutely change them however you want to do them. You can do this in a solid one color, or you can do them in any order that you want. So with me changing it to the gray color, I'm gonna just grab my gray color here, and I'm gonna change, and I'm gonna also repeat the pattern here, which is the back post, front post, double crochet. So I'm gonna remove the last stitch here, and I'm just gonna yarn, put the color change like this, and then chain 2. You can obviously change the color however you usually find it more easy for you, but I change it like this, chain 2, and then turn. So like I said again, chain 2 is gonna be what you do at the beginning of every row. So now this chain 2 is connected to this double crochet here. So which means we're going to work into the next double crochet, and we're going to complete a front post double crochet like that, and then we're going to do a back post double crochet, and then a front post double crochet. I'm going to repeat that here. So a front post, and then a back post, and again we're literally doing what we did in row 2. So we're repeating row 2 at this moment. So this row 2 here, we do the back post, front post, double crochet, and we alternate this all the way to the end. For the very last stitch, we're going to do a double crochet at the top of the chain 2 right here, and then we're going to do 3 rows of double crochets. So we're just going to repeat these 3 rows here, and then we will change the color again to the aqua color, so the light bluish color. And then we're going to repeat again by starting that row with the front post, back post, double crochet, and then 3 rows of the double crochet. So just to make it easy for you guys to understand, in this first set that we did here, we have 5 rows altogether, because the first row we had to establish a row to be able to do our front post, back post, double crochet. But for the next colors that we're changing to, for the next couple of rows, we're going to only do the front post double crochet plus 3 rows of double crochet, and then you change the color, and in the next as you begin the new color, you start by doing the front post, back post, double crochets, and then 3 rows of the double crochets, and then you just alternate them like that. Okay, so I'm not going to show you guys how to do all that here, because it's just repeating that all the way until you have the length that you want. So like I said again, this is going to be a crop sweater for me, so I'm going to not do too many. I will probably do 2 rows in the purple, 2 rows in the gray, and 2 rows in the greenish bluish color. And then when I have all of those, so which means I'm ending my rows with the light bluish color, that's the row that I will finish with if you do the 2 sets of each color. And when I have reached there, I will come back to the video and I'll show you guys how it looks like, and then we will do the second panel, and then we'll move on to doing our sleeves. Okay, but for now, just continue working this repetition of the change of color. And if you're doing a solid color, then just do 4 rows of each of these colors, do 4 rows each. Okay, I will see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and completed the number of rows here. I didn't really count to see how many rows, but all I know is that we started off with the 5 rows here, and then I did 4 rows in this, but of course starting the row with the back post, front post double crochet, and then 3 rows of double crochet, and then the next row starts with that stitch again, and this is what I repeated all the way. And now, like I said, I stopped with this color here, and as you can see, this is what I have so far. Okay, so I'm not making mine too long. If I grab my tape measure, I am going to tell you how many inches I have here. Okay, so in these I have 12 inches, so this is how long it is for the length. I'm going to leave it here because I just want it to be a crop top, crop sweater. And if I measure the body of it, or the circumference of it, is about 16 inches. So which means the next part of it have to be exactly the same for it to give me 32 inches if I put this around the widest part of my bust. Okay, all right. So with that done, as you can see, I've already cut the yarn off here. I left it a little bit long so we can use it to join our top here eventually. But for now, I have just kind of left it like this. and I will also weave in these where I change the color here. As you can see, the strings are hanging everywhere. I'm gonna weave them in or just kind of like cut them off after doing a knot, and then I will do the second part. So I want you guys to do the exact same thing. Go back and start the video if you need to start it from where we started the tutorial, and repeat this and get the second panel exactly like we did here. And when you have two exactly like this, come back to the video and we will move on to joining the two panels and then to working on our sleeves. Okay, so you guys. Okay, my lovelies, so I have completed my second panel here as well. So as you can see, I have two of them completed. This is the one that I just did now. That's the one that we completed earlier. Okay, so I have two altogether that we're going to join like this, and this will create the body of our sweater, of our crop sweater. Okay, so when you have your two panels like this, now we need to determine how wide we want our armpit area or the sleeves to be. And then when we have that, we will also need to determine how wide we want our neckline to be. So keep in mind, we're going to be working this color here to complete the neckline, and we will do the front post, back post, double crochet stitch for the neckline. So we need it to be a little bit wide, decently wide, so that when we work that stitch, it's gonna snatch it in a little bit. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do here, so as you can see, I cut this side off short completely, just forgot to make it long, but this is the one that we had earlier. So I will start by joining on this side. And what I will probably do is I want to leave about that much of a neckline. So I will just kind of count the stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's say 10 in. I will put my stitch marker here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I will match it on the other side. So let's say I will join my work from here to here. And of course, I will need to do the same on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So again, I will take my stitch markers and I will put them here. Okay. So it means that I will need to shut this here. So I will need to sew this closed here. And I will do the same here. And then this is my neckline right here. Okay. And then when we finish that, we will determine how wide we want our sleeves to be as well. But I would not worry about that right now because we need to complete this here. So for where I ended up the yarn here, I will just do a slip stitch and pull it through like this. Okay. So for now, I'm going to show you guys how to join this, and then we will work on joining the bottom before we work on our sleeves. Okay, so I'm going to get my darning needle. So I have my darning needle here. I'm just going to put it through the darning needle hole like that. And then I'm going to start to join my work up here. So I'm just going to go into the very first stitch here and then match it to the stitch on the other side. We're going to pull. I will do that twice here. And then for the remaining stitches, I'm just going to grab the outside loop of this side and the inside loop of the opposite side and pull. Then I'm going to do the next thing, the same thing for the next stitch. And then the same thing for the next stitch. And then for the next, and again, I will just continue this to where the stitch marker is. And when I reach the stitch marker, I'm going to come back and we will disconnect, and then we will connect it to the other side to be able to do the same. And as you can see, this is my 9th here. So for the 10th, I'm going to go through both loops, and I'm going to do the 10th twice, just like we did at the beginning here. And then I'm going to do the 3rd time where I will close it off like this. Okay. And then I'll grab my scissors. I will cut that somewhere off here. We have enough yarn to be able to do the same on the other side. Okay, so this is how the joining on top of this one is. So we'll flip our work this way and do the same on this side. Okay, so again, just go into the first stitch here, pull it through, and because we connected this yarn, I'm just gonna do a knot right here, and again, and make sure it's secure so that it doesn't come off on you when you're wearing your sweater. Okay, And then for the next stitch, I'm going to grab the outside yarn or the outside loop and then the inside loop on the other opposite side. And again, if you are finding the way I'm joining my work too complicated for you and you have an easier way that you usually do this, please go ahead and do that. All we just need to do is join our top here, the top of our sweater here. We just need to join it. So however you do that and you're satisfied with it, please go ahead and do that. I'm just showing you how I do it. You don't have to follow my process here if you have a better way that you do it or an easier way that you do it. Okay, so like that. Then we get to the stitch marker, we remove it. Okay, and then for that 10th stitch, I go through both loops on each side. So all 4 loops, I go through them twice. And then for the 3rd time, I put the yarn around like this to lock it in, like that. And then we will cut our yarn somewhere here. Okay, so as you can see, the tops are joined here. Okay, as you can see, we have it now looking like that. All right, so now we're going to pivot our work like this because we need to find out where we want our sleeves to start. I personally want the sleeves to be a little bit wider, so I am going to probably close these here and leave these open for my sleeves. You can decide wherever. You can do it halfway through, and this section here would be halfway through if you do this and leave this section here as your sleeves and then close this. That is up to you, but I want mine to be a little bit longer. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do it in the middle. I'm going to do it in the middle of this color here, so it's exactly halfway. Okay, and to do that, you actually can choose any color. If you're the picky kind that want to do this in purple, then this in blue, and then in this color, sorry, in gray, and then in blue, and then this color, it's up to you. I am going to, actually, I think I'm going to do that because the light color here will be very, very, or any of the colors here will be too bright for me to, and I think it will bother me. So what I will do is I'll grab the purple first, then I'll do some gray, then I'll do some blue halfway here. So I'm going to join my work pretty much to halfway through this light blue, which means on the other side, I'll take my stitch marker and I'll do the same on this side here. I'll put it halfway up or down, however you want to see it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and join these guys here. I'm not gonna show you guys how to do it right now because it's the same thing, except here there's no stitches to work with. So you will just grab a little bit of the top of each of the stitches like this, and you will make sure that you're not gapping it too far. Like you're not gonna do one here and the next one is here. You're gonna make it so that they're very close to each other. And you're gonna do that in this color if you want to be picky, then switch and get the gray color, do that, and then a little bit of the blue color. And when you have completed that, you switch it to the other side and you do the same. And when you have completed all this to where the stitch marker is, so which means this is shut, come back and I will show you how to start our sleeves. Okay, I will see you guys when you have joined these sections here. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and completed joining the sides here. Now, I actually just changed my mind once again and I decided to stop where the gray is just because I like to do the sleeves to be a little bit wider. So this is why I stopped here. Okay, so again, it's up to you to determine how wide you want your armpits to be or the sleeves of your sweater to be. I want them to be this wide. So we have joined the top here with the exception of the neckline where we're gonna do the neckline here, and we have done the side with the exception of where we're gonna do the sleeves. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to do the sleeves here really quick, and then I will have you guys work for the rest of the project pretty much, because all we're doing here with the sleeves is we're going to connect and then we're just going to do rows of double crochets. We're not going to do the front post, back post double crochets anymore. We're just doing rows of double crochet, and we're going to alternate by doing 5 rows in the purple here, and then moving on to 5 rows of the gray, and then 5 rows of this, and then repeating again. And we're gonna do that until we have the length of our sleeve. And in this case, I would like to finish off with this, just like we have the bottom and just like we will do the neckline. Okay, so the purple is gonna be the one that kind of contours the whole project. All right, so we start off by doing a slip knot like this. So I'm just gonna zoom it here so you can see. So we do our slip knot like this, and then on one of the side, either of the side, I will go in the bottom part here. And as you can see, by the way, I cut off all the yarn that was hanging on one of the sides. It's up to you how you want to do it. You can weave it in, but for me, I just knotted it and then cut it off. And also this part that we're working with right now is going to be the inside of our sweater. When we finish, we're going to be able to flip it, and the other side is the outside and this side is the inside, which is why I didn't really mind knotting it and cutting it off like this. All right, so we put our slip knot into the space like this, and then we're going to chain two. This chain two counts as a double crochet, so which means we move on to the next space here to do our double crochet. Then we're going to move on to the next space right here and do our double crochet. And we don't have definite stitches that we're working with, so we're just making space, and we're making sure we're not doing it too gappy, but we're making sure we're not doing it too tight together either. We're doing our double crochets so that they have the amount of space between them that makes sense. Okay, and again, I'm starting it off with this purple color. You can start it with whichever color you want. I just want to kind of keep my work consistent here. And as you can see, I'm weaving in my string as well that we just kind of left out from doing our slip knot. Okay, so as you can see, look at the spacing here. It's not, oops, I was completely off. I'm spacing it off like this so that it's not too gappy, but it's not too close to each other either. And then I just continue doing it like this all around the circumference of the sleeve hole here. And then when I have completed it, which means I come all the way to where we just started off here, I will come back to the video, and so should you, so you can see what we do next to start our second row. And then that will pretty much be our repeat row for the remaining of the for this part of the sleeve. Okay, I will see you guys when you have come back to the bottom here. Okay, my lovelies, so I have worked my double crochets around the armhole here, and as you can see, I've pretty much come back to where we started off here. Now this is where it's probably very important for you to make sure you count the stitches that you have done here. And again, as you see, I just space it so that they're not too far apart, but they're not too close to each other either. So you just do as much the best as you can to make sure that it looks even, and then you count the number of stitches. So I counted mine. I have about 62 stitches altogether here, and we do that so that when we do our second side, we don't have too many or too less of the stitches. We have to make sure they're give and take one or two off, but very similar, just so that we don't have one arm that is too wide and the other one too narrow. Okay, so I have marked down my 62 stitches on this side, and I will make sure that when I work on this side, I'm keeping in mind that I need to make sure I have about 60 to 62 stitches. Okay, all right, so with that done here, I'm going to slip stitch on top of this chain two that we created the row, we started the row with, like that. And now that that is done, I'm going to chain two, and I'm going to start the next row. I'm going to go into this stitch here, and I'm going to complete a double crochet, and then in the next row I'm going to complete a double crochet, and in the next row a double crochet. And like I said, again, the sleeves are all going to just consist of the double crochet stitches. We don't do anything different, and you just do this. The only thing you will do, obviously, if you're following the same way that I'm doing, is changing color after every 5 rows. So I'm starting my second row here, and I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna go to row 3. I'm gonna finish that, and then I'll do row 4, finish that, do row 5, and then for row 6 I'm going to change the color, and I'm going to do the gray color. So I'm going to match the way this is set up here. So I'm going to finish this and then do that, and then this, and then back to the purple, gray, blue, and then just continue like that until I get to the length of my sleeve. And you can do this as a mid length for your sleeve, or you could do it as a full sleeve, which I will do mine. It's going to be a full sleeve, so I'm doing it all the way to my wrist here. And like I said, again, I'm going to want to end the number of rows, a number of number of rows with the purple. So I'm going to make sure that the last 5 rows is going to be of the purple color. So however that works out, I'm going to make sure I have it as the end color. Okay, now I'm gonna let you guys go from here because there's not much to be done. Just continue working like this. When you come to here, you will do your final double crochet here, slip stitch on top of the chain 2, and begin your row 3, and then you continue by doing that. And also I'm gonna have you guys do that for the other side as well. So I'm not gonna come back to show you guys to start the other side because we started exactly the same way we did here. So I'm gonna work on my sleeve here. When I finish this side, I will move on to this side, finish that, then I will come back to show you guys how we do the neckline. Okay, so let's go ahead and work, and I will see you guys when you have completed both of your sleeves. Okay, my lovelies, so I have completed working on my sleeves here. So as you can see, I pretty much did these sleeve on one side, and then I went ahead and completed the second side as well, as I had talked about in the previous section of the video. And just quickly here for the end of the sleeve, I did my 4 double crochets rows, and then I finished it off with the 5th row of the front post, back post, double crochet, and it just matches a little bit of the bottom of how we did the start of the project for the body panels here. And of course I did that for both of them so that they're exactly the same. Okay, so the sleeves are completed, the body is completed. Now we're going to work on the neckline. So what I plan to do for the neckline here is just to do a couple of rows of the front post, back post, double crochet in this color here, so that our work has an outlining of this color. So it has it on the sleeves, it has it in the bottom, and it's gonna have it in the neckline. Okay, so to start that, I'm just going to line up my work very easily like that to work on. I'm going to grab the color that I'm going to be doing the neckline with. And again, this is an optional thing. If you're using just one color throughout the project, it's absolutely up to you. But and also just finishing it off with this color, it's up to you. This is just a choice that I think is gonna look nice if I finish it off with the same color that I started with and finished the sleeves with. Okay, so I'm gonna just do that. I'm gonna do a slip knot just so I can, like that. And for those of you, by the way, who are interested or who are curious, I did the sleeves just in the double crochet stitch. So like I said, I wasn't going to do it like we did the body. And I did 5 rows of these colors, and I alternated them exactly the way I alternated the body. So I did the purple, the gray, and then the light blue, and then the purple, the gray, the light blue. And I did that until I had the length of my sleeve, okay? And I said also to finish it off with this color. So that is what happened here. Okay, so we're gonna start working on our neckline here, and I have my color that we're gonna be working with. I'm just gonna start by doing a slip knot, just like this. And then I'm gonna go into this corner here. So as you see, if you hold your work like this, there's this hole here and there's this hole here. I'm gonna go into the hole that is on the left hand side, and I'm going to bring my hook through and then put my yarn through and bring it through that hole. Then I'm going to do a chain of 2. Okay, so I'm going to just go right into doing front post and back post double crochets because we do have the stitches to work into, and also because I wanted to have the reliefs that we have when we're doing the body of our sweater. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just go into the next stitch and complete a front post double crochet. Then I'm gonna go into the next and complete a back post double crochet, and then go to the next and complete a front post double crochet, and then into the next complete a back post. So again, you're just repeating this all around the neckline here. Okay, when you come to this end here, you're going to do a post here. It could be a back or a front post right here, and then you're gonna skip right to the other side and do this one right here. So you do this one on this side, and then you skip to the other side and do this one here, and then you move over to continuing the rest of them. Okay, so again, keep in mind you're working into this, and then skipping over to this, and then continuing that way. Okay, then you complete the rest of it until you come back here. When you get back to finishing your post in this stitch here, whichever that is going to be, whether it's a back or front post, you're going to come back to the video and I will show you how to start the second row. and then I will have you guys work however many rows that you need for your neckline. Okay, so I will see you guys when you've completed this row and gone back to here. Okay, my lovelies, so I have worked my alternation of front post and back post double crochets around the neckline here. So that's how it looks, and this is the relief I was looking for, just a nice kind of change of color that looks nice. And so we have that done. I have completed my final front post double crochet right here. So I will go straight to the top of the chain 2 that we started the row with and slip stitch like that. Then I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to pretty much follow the rhythm here, which is for the one that comes towards me, I complete a front post double crochet. For the next one, I do a back post, and then this one, because it's facing me, I'm going to do a front post double crochet, and then this one is facing away, I'm going to do a back post double crochet, and then again I just continue this all the way, and I'm gonna end up coming back here. I will do whatever post that this will correspond with. In this case, it's a front post double crochet, so I'll do my front post double crochet here, chain 2, and then slip stitch to the chain 2 that I just started, and then do a chain 2 and start another row. And I'm going to do a couple of rows here for my neckline, probably about, let's say about 5. If I have enough yarn, that will take me to 5 rows, but let's say between 3 and 5. If I have less, I do about 3 or 4 or 5 if I have enough yarn, and then I will come back to the video to show you guys what that looks like, and that will pretty much be the end of the project. Okay, so I will have you guys work on this, and I will see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have completed 5 rows of the neckline here. So as you can see, this is pretty much, it has a little bit of a turtleneck to it here. And because I've finished my 5 rows and I think it's a decent size, you can obviously make it longer if you want it to be more like a cover, full cover turtleneck, but this is just going to be enough to cover our neck properly. So I'm going to stop it here. So I have slip stitched on top of the chain 2, just like we've been doing. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my yarn somewhere there, and then I'm going to slip stitch here and just lock it up like that. So chain 1 and then lock it up. Okay, so if I place my work somewhere down like this in a way that you can see it, this is how the neckline looks, and then this is pretty much the body of the crop sweater here, and then of course the sleeves are going out like this. And again, I love that the sleeves are a little bit more not too rough in compared to the body here, so the body is a lot more textured than the sleeves, and I love that a lot like this. So yeah, this is pretty much it here. So all I will need to do is just weave in my ends. I have all of these ends here. I have the ones where I changed the color, the colors for the sleeves. I have the ones where I changed the color for the top, I think. And of course, I'm going to weave these in. And that's pretty much going to be the end of the project. So this can be where you can obviously wear this, either this to be the back or the front, because at this point it doesn't make a difference. It's exactly identical on all sides. You can even flip it inside out and it will be the exact same thing, because if you look at it, that's pretty much the project on the inside of it. All right, so I hope you guys have enjoyed doing this one with me. Thank you so much for watching the video to the end, and I really hope you guys have subscribed, and if not, why not? Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or just want to say hello, please comment in the section below. Make sure you like and make sure you share the video with your loved ones. I hope you guys will have a good one, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.